In this video, we'll transform the dynamic 2D toolpaths, we'll create the finish contour ops, and then we'll transform those finish ops. The first thing I'd like to do is rename view sheet number 2 to short slot. This will allow us to get back to this view and these levels very quickly. I'm going to go up to milling, and in Toolpath Transform, I'm going to select upper right and y-axis cross. Those are the toolpaths that we want to transform. You'll also notice that down below changed based on the selections I made up above. So I'm going to select all of our 2D dynamic toolpaths. Those are the only ones it shows based on meeting this criteria up here. For transform type, we'll pick rotary rotate, and I'll come into this tab. We're going to rotate each of these once, and they're going to be 180 degrees apart. So they're done. I'm going to go ahead and grab both of these toolpath groups and backplot them. Make sure we look good. The turning ops kind of went fast, but we're really looking for the milling ops. So it looks like we got all 4 slots. Now we're ready to finish them. I'm going to turn off the toolpaths, and I want to create a new toolpath group for our finish mill operations. And we'll name it Finish Mill Slots. We'll bring this around to the long slot. We'll do that first, like we did when we roughed. I'll go to Milling, Contour 2D. For chaining, we'll be in solids, and I'm going to use linked edges. We'll walk it around the bottom. And for our tool, we're going to want to use the 6mm cross end mill. Holder will be the same. Setup will be the same. Upper right, y-axis cross. Will derive from geometry. In actuality, we created this plane when we did the rough operation on this slot, so we're using the same plane. Cut parameter defaults are fine. For linking parameters, I'll grab the incremental value, top of stock. We'll round that up to 5. We've been using a 3mm feed plane, and for clearance, we've been using 7mm, and retract we've been using 7, so we'll stick with that. Let's do a quick back plot. Make sure that looks okay. And it does. I'm going to go to the short slot view sheet. Then I'll right click on our last operation and copy and paste it. We'll go in and edit it. And we'll cancel the existing geometry, and we'll change some new geometry. We're going to use the linked edges again, and we'll go up and around with the geometry that we have. Tool will be the 6mm cross, holder is the same, setup same, upper right, y-axis cross. Of course, we've got some 3D geometry here, and we're 90 degrees from where we were for the last toolpath. So we're going to go grab that plane that we created in the last lesson with a C value of 2.904. Our cut parameters will be good at default. And our linking parameters, because we're working with 3D geometry, we're going to need to set our depth absolute. And our top of stock, that'll still be 5. Our clearance at 7, retract at 7, and feed plane at 3. Those will all be good at incremental. So we'll regen and backplot. That looks good. Now we just need to finish this through slot here. So we'll copy and paste again. We'll go in and rechain the geometry. Delete what's there. And this time I'm going to grab a loop. That'll grab all that geometry around the bottom there. Same tool, same holder, same setup, same plane. Cut parameter defaults will work fine. For our lead in and lead out, we're in a tight spot there, so we'll make a radius of 30. And we'll overlap just a little bit. For linking parameters, again with the 3D geometry, will be an absolute. So I'm going to pick down at the bottom of the chain, and then I'll go just a little bit deeper than that. We'll go to 7 for the top of stock. We'll round that up to 12. Feed plane at 3 is okay, and our clearance and retract will work okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. We'll regen it, and then backplot. So we got a nice little arc in, arc out, and we have a nice looking toolpath. Now that we have these 3 finish mill toolpaths completed, let's go ahead and transform them. We'll be in the upper right and y-axis cross, and you can see it selects the 3 toolpaths that we just created, 36, 37, and 38. We want to rotary rotate, so I'll go to the rotary rotate tab. We just need 1 instance, and we need them 180 degrees apart. So if we grab all 4 of those now, if we backplot those just to check and make sure we're looking good. There's the deep, there's the transform, and we look good.